Right now at 8, a committee recommends firing former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gao. The reasons why and what he's saying. Plus, President Biden campaigns in Detroit Friday. Well, he's trying to tell voters as questions continue about his fitness to serve.
And it's going to be very warm this weekend with a few chances of storms. I'll have the full forecast coming up.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. It is Saturday, July 13th. Actor Harrison Ford turns 82 today. Let's begin by taking a look outside this morning with the first warm forecast. Jacob is here with what you need to know. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. And we are already starting to see some very isolated showers and storms. Now, we're not going to see anything very widespread during the day, but a few of these pop-up showers and storms are certainly possible. They're likely going to be very light and possibly not even contain any severe weather. But we already have a storm just like that, kind of moving very slowly to the northeast, right around, Dane, Lafayette, Greene counties, as well as Iowa counties. But we could see storms like this throughout the day that will just produce some small pockets of heavy rainfall. The majority of today will be rather calm, at least rainfall-wise, but it is going to be warm. We'll see partly sunny. Right now we're seeing partly sunny skies. Current temperatures in the middle 70s for Madison. Much of the area still in the lower 70s, but we're going to rise into the 80s pretty quickly. And looking at the forecast throughout the day, highs will be in the middle to upper 80s for Madison. And in general, we'll see partly sunny skies, but don't be surprised if you do see a passing shower or storm. Could produce some small pockets of heavy rain, as I mentioned, and that's going to be the case for La Crosse as well. Highs in the middle to upper 80s, but we do have an alert in the forecast for the possibility of severe weather. The first chance of severe weather, at least widespread severe weather, will be tonight, but a few other chances will occur Sunday and Monday. And we also are going to see hot temperatures during that time frame. I'll talk more in detail about the entire forecast coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We'll check back in just a bit. To our top stories now, a UW lacrosse faculty committee is recommending the university fire former Chancellor Joe Gao from his tenured teaching position. This over his involvement in producing online pornography. Overnight, WKBT TV obtained a copy of the final report by the university's Faculty Senate Hearing Committee. It comes nearly a month after a two-day hearing the committee hosted to decide Gao's future. The report outlines the various charges then Interim Chancellor Betsy Morgan levied at Gao. They found Gao did engage in, quote, unethical and potentially illegal conduct because he admitted to engaging in pornographic video production at the hearing. In a statement, Gao said, quote, although this isn't the decision we wanted, Carmen and I remain firmly committed to defending free speech and expression. Changes are coming to Madison Metro and how riders pay for the service. A new fare system will roll out by the end of summer called the Fast Fare Card. It will allow you to create an online account with a reloadable smart card. Officials say to pay, you'll tap either a physical card, one of two fob options, or eventually even your phone each time you get on the bus.
Anyone who rides the bus knows they've probably had problems with passes getting jammed in the meter and things, wearing out. So we are replacing all that. It's past its useful life, so we are phasing that out.
The new system is also now pay as you ride, which means each ride will cost you $2, but your fares are capped, so you'll never pay more than $5 a day, $16.25 a week, or $65 a month. President Biden campaigned in Michigan Friday, part of his plan to shore up support in key blue states, but he continues to face calls from Democratic lawmakers to drop out of the race. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
That is Motown is Joetown.
In Detroit, President Biden promised supporters he's not going anywhere.
A lot of speculation lately. What's Joe Biden going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? Here's my answer. I am running, and we're going to win.
But he still faces questions from voters about whether he's up to the job for 4 more years.
Yeah, he's old, but, we all get old, and we all have our little brain quirks.
Based on his interviews and stuff, it doesn't seem like he's, mentally there age-wise.
I promise you, I'm okay.
But big Democratic donors have already put on hold up to $90 million in pledged donations to allied super PACs if the president stays in the race. And since his news conference Thursday night, more Democratic lawmakers have called for him to drop out.
I felt that this is the moment to say, are we sure? Are we sure that Joe Biden is the best candidate to prosecute the case against Donald Trump.
Let's do another debate this
Former
week.
President Trump heads to Milwaukee next week for the Republican convention, with just days left to choose his running mate. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and Florida Senator Marco Rubio are all said to be on his short list. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Former President Trump will be in Pennsylvania today campaigning in a county that's a Republican stronghold. Polls show Trump leading in that battleground state, which President Biden won in 2020. On Wall Street, stocks closed the week higher as investors shrugged off hotter than expected wholesale inflation data. Inflation sped up unexpectedly last month to its highest rate since March of 2023. But that report came after Thursday's news that year-over-year consumer price inflation fell 0.3%. Here are Friday's closing numbers. The Dow hit an all-time high early in the trading day before losing some of those gains, but still closing in positive territory, up 247 points. NASDAQ up 115. The S&P adds 31. In New Mexico, a judge has thrown out Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter charge for the shooting death of a cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust.
Dismissal with prejudice is warranted to ensure the integrity of the judicial system and the efficient administration of justice. Your motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted.
The actor burst into tears as the judge dismissed the case following a day-long hearing on a motion to dismiss from his defense attorneys. Baldwin's team accused the prosecution of deliberately withholding key evidence that would have been favorable to Baldwin, who insisted he was not guilty and did not pull the trigger of a prop gun, resulting in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. The judge agreed and accused the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office and prosecutors of misconduct.
The state's willful withholding of this information was intentional and deliberate. If this conduct does not rise to the level of bad faith, it certainly comes so near to bad faith as to show signs of scorching.
In an extraordinary turn, the special prosecutor in the case called herself to the witness stand to defend her decision not to disclose evidence. It was earlier in the day when one of the prosecutors quit the case after a disagreement. The judge said Baldwin cannot be retried. Nearly all of AT&T's cell phone customers have been impacted by a massive breach. The telecom company says the compromised data includes tens of millions of customers' phone numbers between May 1st and October 31st of 2022. Customers' personal information and the contents of their calls or texts were not exposed in this leak. The company says its data was illegally downloaded from its workspace on a third-party cloud platform, and at least one person has been arrested in connection to the breach. Back here in Madison, a 31-year-old was arrested on Madison's far west side after he allegedly broke into a convenience store yesterday. It happened on the 8300 block of Watts Road at around 2:30 Friday morning. Officers were reviewing video of the man taking items from the store, and as they were doing so, an alarm went off at another business nearby, and that's where they found the man and arrested him for burglary. Time now is 8:07, still ahead. A pair of siblings take on a national rodeo. And let's take a live look outside this morning. Jacob will have your full forecast just ahead on Weekend Mornings.
Need help with a consumer issue? Contact News 3 Now's Call for Action.
Don't burn up your money on high energy bills. Get new energy efficient windows from Champion. Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma. How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? Some days you can feel like a spectator in your own life with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they start. And treatment is 4 times a year. In a survey, 91% of users wish they'd started sooner. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Chronic migraine may still keep you from being there. Why wait? Talk to your doctor about Botox and get in the picture. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Brothers Maine enjoys 4th of July festivities with family, friends, and fabulous kitchen and laundry deals. Our fireworks of savings on GE appliances and free delivery will make you ooh and ah. Feel like family at Brothers Maine.
People are dabbling.
I dabble in kung fu.
So go ahead. Dip.
I saved this dance for you.
Dig.
Diana Ross.
And dabble for yourself.
All day, baby.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's just past 8:10 on weekend mornings. Well, this year's summer heat is already breaking some records, and according to an EU climate change service, June was the 13th consecutive month to break a global heat record. And in more than half of the U.S., some 175 million people faced extreme heat on July 4th. Scientists say these heat waves are becoming the new normal. And here in the U.S., June was the second warmest in NOAA's 130-year record. Jay was back now with how hot things are going to get for us today and into next week.
Yeah, we could be talking about heat index values in the triple digits, and that is part of the reason why we have the alert day in the forecast today through Monday. But it's also because we're going to see the possibility of severe weather, and this is for really all of southern Wisconsin and the central portion of the state as well. So looking at the severe weather outlook for today, most of our area, if not our entire area, under a slight risk, I should say, and this goes into the overnight hours. This is mostly referring to the overnight hours, as we're only going to have a very small chance of a severe thunderstorm during the daytime. And then for Sunday, it drops to a marginal risk, but once again, our entire area under that severe weather risk. And Monday, it's gonna rise back up to a slight risk again. So we are gonna see the potential for severe weather all 3 days, and each of the next 3 days are gonna be pretty hot as well. Now, there are two outcomes that could happen with the storms tonight and tomorrow. So here's the first scenario, where the storms overnight mostly stay to the north of Dane County. Could see a few rounds of storms, but they mostly stay in the central portion of the state. And if that does occur, by the time we get to Sunday, we have a little bit of a better chance to see those storms in the evening. And some of these storms in the evening could definitely produce some severe weather. Strong winds and hail would be the two biggest factors in this scenario. But the second scenario, which brings storms for our entire area tonight, may fizzle out some of the energy for the storms on Sunday. So here is scenario 2. Still going to be dry for much of today, but as I talked about, we could see some of these pop-up showers and storms very isolated. But a line of storms will move into our area overnight. Again, this is the second scenario and will likely impact everyone, bring in the potential for severe weather, with strong winds being the biggest hazard or the biggest risk. But this will clear out by the time we get closer to sunrise on Sunday, and then most of Sunday will be dry. And if that happens, that will prevent some of these storms from forming Sunday evening. Could still see some, but not as much as we would see if the storms tonight do stay off to the north. Now, regardless of what happens tonight and tomorrow, we still are expecting another round of severe weather on Monday, and this round could actually be the strongest round, as we'll see a line of storms move into our area from the west and really impact southern Wisconsin, bringing in some heavy rain and, as I've been talking about, the potential for strong winds and isolated hail. Now, the tornado risk is very low, but it's also not zero over the next couple of days, so that could also be a factor. But again, it is still very unlikely. Now, this round of rain looks to move out pretty early in the night on Monday, and total precipitation from the next 3 days could easily exceed an inch if we do indeed indeed see a few rounds of these thunderstorms for individual locations. So flooding and wind concerns are the biggest concerns. Hail and tornado are pretty slight, but again, the tornado risk is not at zero, but it is pretty small, so not too much of a concern with ours over the storms this weekend. Now, looking at the 10-day forecast, after Monday, it is going to be very quiet, plenty of sunshine, comfortable temperatures as well. Highs will only be in the lower 80s, upper 70s. That looks to continue through the end of the 10-day forecast, where the temperatures will be very close to average and only a very small chance of some rain after that.
All right, Jacob, thank you. A look around Wisconsin. The world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales are making their rounds in the Green Bay area. Earlier this week, they were in De Pere, where they drew a crowd outside of a grocery store. Budweiser has partnered with Folds of Honor for the showings, donating 25 cents per case of Budweiser's patriotic 24-pack sold. Folds of Honor is a nonprofit organization providing educational scholarships to families of fallen or disabled U.S. service members and first responders. More appearances by the Clydesdales are scheduled throughout the rest of the weekend. The National High School Rodeo Competition kicks off in Wyoming next week, and Western Wisconsin will see a few athletes make the trip to compete, including a couple pairs of siblings. News 8 Now's Cade Overton found his way to the riding arena and has the details.
More than 1,500 high schoolers from all across the continent will meet in Rock Springs, Wyoming for one of the biggest rodeo competitions in the world.
This horse is named Buster.
Maddie and Molly McBride of Holman have been riding horses since they were little kids. The sisters have had their eyes on the national meet since the beginning of the season, and after finishing in the top 4 during the state competition, the two will now represent Team Wisconsin.
I'm kind of nervous, but I think I'm mostly excited for it.
Despite qualifying in 2 different events, Maddie in pole bending, Molly in barrel racing, the support is still the same.
I don't think I would be doing how good I am without her. She definitely gives me advice and tips, and she's kind of like my own little coach.
This stage will display the highest level of high school talent, but that's just a chance to prove yourself against the best of the best.
I see it as a place where I can challenge myself and see how far I can get competing against thousands of people.
Maddie and Molly won't be the only siblings representing Wisconsin. Josie and Cade Waldenberger of West Salem High School are also making the trip. Josie in 3 different events and Cade in rifle shooting.
It's really great. I mean, we push each other every day and try to make each other better.
These two take the term sibling rivalry to another level as both of them compete in light rifle.
Who's the better shot between you two?
Me.
I think she might have it, but not by much.
And when your competition is family, it makes weekends at the rodeo a little more interesting.
I just really like the family aspect of it and seeing all your friends every weekend, really pushing them because it's your friends, but it's also your competition, so it's really a good part of it.
Reporting from Holman, Cade Overton, News 8 Now.
Now, they aren't the only 4 from Western Wisconsin competing. There's also a couple of kids from Tomah, Sparta, and even Gays Mills. For a full list, just visit news8000.com. The competition gets started tomorrow. More local news. Madison's Marquette neighborhood will be rocking this weekend with Fête de Marquette, all in honor of French Independence Day or Bastille Day. French-influenced musicians are set to perform on a number of Near East Side stages. The event started on Thursday, centered in McPike Park. It's come a long way since the first Fête de Marquette back in 2006, and those going can expect plenty of music, food, and drinks. It's all family friendly, and you can't beat the price.
And the best part of Fête de Marquette, it's free admission. Some of the bands that you're going to see at Fête are bands that you might pay $70, $80 to see a show. Here you see them with all your neighbors and friends, and it's a free admission event.
Proceeds from the event benefit the Wilmar Neighborhood Center, which has been providing things like accredited childcare, senior fitness and nutrition programs, and a food pantry to the Near East Side for 56 years. The world's population may peak before the end of the century. That's according to the latest population report from the United Nations. It forecasts global population will continue to grow from the current 8.2 billion people to nearly 10.3 billion around the year 2080. But the UN is projecting after that peak, the global population will begin to fall. According to the report, that's partly because fertility rates around the world are dropping quicker than expected. More than 60 countries and territories have already peaked in population, including Italy, Japan, Russia, and China. A breakthrough discovery could lead to new treatments for the autoimmune disease lupus and why pregnant women are at a greater risk for long COVID. Michael George has some of the week's top health stories.
Nearly 1 in 10 pregnant women who get COVID will develop long COVID. That's the findings of a study by the University of Utah Health. This could be because immune systems in pregnant people don't react as strongly to infections. Prior research has found catching COVID while pregnant increases the risk of complications, hospitalization, and death. U.S. military women deployed during times of combat are 53% more likely to experience chronic pain afterwards compared to service women exposed to less combat. That's according to a new study published in JAMA Boston. Researchers also note higher levels of chronic pain reported by female family members of combat-exposed service women. And scientists at Northwestern University say for the first time they've discovered a possible cause of lupus. Researchers identified a molecular defect that impacts the body's immune system, and they believe it could lead to targeted treatments. Lupus affects more than 1.5 million people in the U.S. and can damage organs like the kidneys, brain, and heart. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Time is 8:20, still ahead. Jake will be back with a quick check at today's forecast. And there are several new shows and movies to check out on streaming this weekend. Will Loper will share his picks and 3 things to watch when we return.
These were my great-grandpappy's glasses. And now they're yours, son.
Why can't I just get my own?
No, these have at least a few hundred years left in them.
I think the kid needs his own. Get 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79, all same day.
Yeah, I want my own.
Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Sup? You need some windows?
Howdy.
Oh, you need windows. Yes, you do.
Hey folks, you call the experts? Increase your curb appeal and save big this summer with free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 5 years. And we'll get it done Feldco fast. Free installation ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to see the difference you can make around you. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, set your own deadlines and access coursework anytime. Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night, tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team.
At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems.
And when we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains, we turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. The Tempur-Adapt features innovative technology, so you get deep, undisturbed rest all night long.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Hi, I'm Steve Lindenau, owner of Crazy Lenny's e-bikes. We are the e-bike experts. We've been doing this for well over a decade, and we'll use that expertise to get you into the right e-bike. We have the right bike here for everyone, and our knowledgeable staff will help select the right bike for you. So if you're looking for an e-bike, give us a call or stop on by, because nobody e-bikes like we bikes.
Madison Mallards Baseball brings you a night of fireworks on the base paths, and after the game is over, don't miss the Mallards' next fireworks night, Saturday, July 13th against the Minnesota Mud Puppies. Get your tickets today. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Madison Mallards Baseball.
Let's take a look at the heat index values that we are expecting today. So right now we're having heat index values in the 70s, but by the afternoon they will be in the middle to lower 90s. Now we're unlikely to see the heat index values get to 100, but that may not be the case for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the warmest of the 3 days, and looking at the heat index values for the afternoon hours, we're talking about middle to upper 90s, especially upper 90s for those of you near the Illinois border and places southward. And heat index values will still be in the lower 90s as far north as Eau Claire. Monday is also expected to be hot, not quite as hot here in Madison compared to Sunday, but further out west it might even be warmer. As you can see, heat index values could easily get to 100 for Prairie du Chien and areas near the Mississippi River. Still looking at those heat index values in the middle 90s in south central Wisconsin, so it's going to be a very hot next couple of days. Do not spend too much time outside at once, and obviously drink plenty of water.
Jacob, thank you. There's always something new to watch on the big streaming services, and this weekend is no exception. Our Loper shares a few of the best available now in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
I was a professor of nursing at Boston College, working with patients with traumatic experiences. One day, I got a phone call from the FBI.
Newly streaming on Hulu is the docu-series Mastermind to Think Like a Killer.
At the time, she was the only woman at the FBI.
There was this aura. Women need to be protected. And here was Ann Burgess, full speed ahead.
The series tells the story of FBI specialist Dr. Ann Burgess, who pioneered serial killer profiles for the FBI.
The problem was we had to make sense out of the interviews. I started listening to the tapes, and what I found was fascinating.
Mastermind to Think Like a Killer is streaming on Hulu now.
Max, I need help.
What happened?
I can turn into someone else.
Newly streaming on Apple TV Plus is the series Me.
I need to know why I can do the things I can do.
A preteen boy discovers he has the ability to shapeshift into anyone he meets.
There's a dark power out there.
Whether you like it or not, someone is coming for you.
You're our only hope.
Awesome.
All 10 episodes of Me are streaming on Apple TV Plus now.
What if I told you imaginary friends are real?
And newly streaming on Paramount Plus is the 2024 film If.
We've started a matchmaking agency to help Ifs find new kids.
John Krasinski directs the film about a girl who discovers she can see abandoned imaginary friends.
I can help you.
How?
I'm a kid.
You are the chosen one. No. Let's not give her a complex.
If is streaming on Paramount Plus now. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
And coming up next, a look at our top morning headlines. Stick with us. This is Weekend Mornings.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Don't miss the 45th Annual Art Fair Off the Square, July 13th and 14th, located in downtown Madison between the Capitol and the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Showcasing the talents and creativity of the Wisconsin Alliance of Artists and Craftspeople, featuring beautiful ceramics, art glass, painting and drawings, photography, sculpture, jewelry, and so much more. Buy local and support your Wisconsin artists and craftspeople, July 13th and 14th. The Art Fair Off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
Stop waiting for online orders. Rock Auto Parts ship in a few hours, 24 hours a day. On the carrier you choose, with tracking at each step.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With 35 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert.
Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest, no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-HAND-SIGNS. Get it done.
Maya knows how quality care can bring out a smile. But it's been a few dog years since she was able to enjoy a smile of her own. Good thing Aspen Dental offers affordable, complete care all in one place. With flexible hours and weekend appointments. Plus 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Loving our patients unconditionally. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Come and get your love.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma? How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Wanakee Furniture ETC.
It's 8:30 right now. A committee recommends firing former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gao. The reasons why and what he's saying. Plus, President Biden campaigns in Detroit Friday. What he is trying to tell voters as questions continue about his fitness to serve. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. I'm Kyle Pazorski. Welcome to this new half hour. We continue to have some hot days in the forecast with the possibility of some storms. With more, let's send it to Jacob with a look at what's ahead. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. And we are already seeing some very small storms for parts of our area. There's a line of some thunderstorms, pretty small storms, as I mentioned, kind of moving to the northeast pretty slowly. But there are some pockets of heavy rain within these isolated storms. And we may continue to see some of these throughout the day. But similar to how they are right now, they're not expected to be widespread, and if they do occur in your area, it likely will not last very long, at least during the day. Different situation once we get to the overnight hours. Now, current temperatures are in the middle 70s with partly sunny skies for much of our area. Again, though, we do have that isolated storm right now, and much of our area right now in the lower 70s. But these temperatures are going to rise into the 80s pretty quickly. So if we look at the forecast today, highs will be in the middle to upper 80s with partly sunny skies. Again, we could see some of those isolated showers and storms. Looks like that one storm may hit Madison between around 9 and 10 a.m. But overall, we're not expecting widespread showers and storms during the daytime, but overnight we could see some of those storms. And for La Crosse, we'll have a very similar forecast with mostly dry conditions during the day and highs in the middle to upper 80s. But we do have that alert day, not just for the hot temperatures, but also for the possibility of some severe weather. Now, the first round will be tonight, but we have other rounds expected Sunday and Monday. I'll have the details on that coming up a bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Our top story this morning continues to be this. A UW La Crosse faculty committee is recommending the university fire former Chancellor Joe Gao from his tenured teaching position. Overnight, WKBT-TV obtained a copy of the final report by the university's Faculty Senate Hearing Committee. It comes nearly a month after a two-day hearing the committee hosted to decide his future. They found Gao did engage in, quote, unethical and potentially illegal conduct. Gao says he is continuing to fight for free speech and expression. Madison's Metro Transit system will see some changes to how riders pay. A new fare system will roll out by the end of the summer called the Fast Fare Card. It will allow you to create an online account with a reloadable smart card. Officials say to pay, you'll tap either a physical card, one of two fob options, or eventually even your phone each time you get on the bus. And back on the campaign trail, President Biden was in Detroit last night. While there, he forcibly defied the growing number of critics in his own party who have called on him to exit the race, pivoting to warnings about a second Donald Trump term and declaring he was, quote, not done yet. A raucous crowd chanted, "Don't you quit," and "We got your back." We are less than a couple days away from the start of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. And just because the RNC is there doesn't mean Madison is out of the picture. With over 50,000 people set to visit the state, our Maddie Heimsch has what it could mean for our capital city.
I think there will be some impact here in Madison, and particularly in downtown. We certainly know of room blocks, different groups, media that are coming into town to participate in what's going on.
Some impact. That's what Downtown Madison Inc. President Jason Ilstrup expects to see in the coming week. Ilstrup says the important players at the RNC will be spending their dollars in Milwaukee. He says escalated business will come to Madison as well, but likely in waves.
So you may not see as strong of an impact in the restaurants during the middle of the convention itself because those folks will be in Milwaukee. It'll be the weekend before, which is coming up. I think the weekend after, and late at night, you'll see some more activity here in the downtown area.
More impactful, perhaps, will be what comes after the convention.
And I think it's all part of this bigger story about how important Wisconsin is for the world politically.
In the years following the 2016 convention in Cleveland, the NFL, MLB, and NBA hosted all-star games and drafts in the city. Wisconsin officials hope this year's event in Milwaukee will create that same momentum and similar followings.
We try to roll out the red carpet for every single group, but certainly groups like the RNC. This is such an important year politically. There's going to be so many eyes across the world focused on Wisconsin.
That was Maddie Heimsch reporting. While the tourism industry may see a small hike here in the capital city, Madisonians shouldn't have to worry about crowding on their daily commute. And as the RNC draws closer, we are learning more about who will speak at the convention. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos will be among state Republicans as an official guest. WisPolitics says Vos will be in the Fiserv Forum when the party formally nominates Donald Trump. The two have had a rocky relationship in recent years, with Trump attacking Vos for not pushing to decertify the results of the 2020 presidential election. Vos has endorsed Trump in his election here. And among the presenters will be Senate candidate Eric Hovde. That's according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. The businessman will address the crowd on the first day, which is themed Make America Wealthy Once Again. Hovde is running against incumbent Democrat Senator Tammy Baldwin for her seat. Trump endorsed Hovde back in April. And staying in politics, Hovde was seen in Toma Friday taking a tour of a sanitary equipment manufacturer. He says as much as he talks about how to get the country back on track, he also wants to hear from voters on their top concerns headed into this fall.
People are being hit so hard by inflation, the price of food, the price of health care, the price of fuel, the price of insurance. So how do we get our economic picture better? Because we're clobbering our middle class and working class and our elderly people.
Hovde says the economy is his top priority, but he also emphasized closing the southern border and stopping the flow of synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Time now, 8:36. Still ahead, a dog shelter in the Pacific Northwest has faced serious struggles since the pandemic. All the details coming up.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Teens have drama.
One more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh,
How does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
Some days you can feel like a spectator in your own life with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they start. And treatment is 4 times a year. In a survey, 91% of users wish they'd started sooner. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Chronic migraine may still keep you from being there. Why wait? Talk to your doctor about Botox and get in the picture. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Milwaukee hosts the Republican National Convention, and News 3 Now will be there. We'll bring you live team coverage all week as Battleground Wisconsin grabs the national spotlight. Hear from party leaders as the GOP finalizes its ticket for president and vice president. Campaign 2024 coverage live from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, starting Monday on News 3 Now. Moving forward.
Here's a look at timing out your forecast throughout the day. Fairly dry during the daytime, but again, we could see some of those isolated showers and storms like we are seeing right now. But more consistent rain is expected to move in overnight. We'll see a line of storms move into the area well past sunset. For those of you in Eau Claire, it will likely occur as early as 9 to 10 p.m., but then it's going to push southward, likely not enter Madison's DMA until closer to midnight, passing through La Crosse around 11 p.m. to midnight. And then during the very early morning hours on Sunday, we'll see this line of storms impact southern Wisconsin. Strong winds are the most likely hazard with this line of storms, but we also could see some minor hail. Very unlikely we will see a tornado from this line of storms. And it will clear out likely before sunrise, before a little more showers form later in the morning. And then for the evening, we'll see some more isolated pop-up showers and storms, but some of these could be severe, but again, not going to be as widespread as the rain tonight. But we have another round of rain on Monday. I'll continue with the forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Jacob. A Washington State dog shelter is in desperate need of dog parents. The shelter says post-pandemic, they got inundated with dogs abandoned by their owners. And they say taking care of the animals is causing them a fortune. Eric Wilkinson has details of what they plan to do to solve the problem and what this all means for other shelters across the country.
All of these dogs are available for adoption. So
Jason Stipp is in the business of adopting dogs, just not like this.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. It's a national crisis. Shelters across the country.
The kennels at the Olympic Peninsula Humane Society are packed with dogs desperate for homes. 59 dogs in a facility built for just 40, putting it 50% over capacity. The place has been caring for more dogs than it can handle since the end of the pandemic, when people started surrendering pets they no longer wanted.
Shelters across the country right now are overloaded, and we really do think it's post-pandemic kind of a hangover thing.
More dogs combined with rising costs for care have the Humane Society losing about $40,000 every month. Managers here say that simply isn't sustainable, and they plan to close this shelter once they find accommodations for the dogs, hopefully by the end of August.
It's heartbreaking, but look, this is temporary. We absolutely want to get back in the business of saving dogs' lives as soon as possible. But again, consolidation at this point and stabilizing the organization financially is the reason for this right now. Yeah.
The plan is to sell this property and use the money to renovate and expand the Humane Society's cat shelter in Sequim, putting all the animals in one central location, cutting expenses and allowing the shelter to accept dogs once again. That likely won't happen, though, for 2 years. For now, the focus is on finding homes for all these dogs ASAP.
The fact of the matter is, we are still open for adoption, and we will remain open until we find everybody that's here a home or a transfer to another high-safe facility.
Stipp worries the closure will increase the stress on other shelters and perhaps push people to simply abandon their unwanted dogs. But he says he has no choice.
We need to right the ship and get on the right track and consolidate and then, you know, reopen with the intention of absolutely saving every dog on the planet we can.
Eric Wilkinson reporting. Time now is 8:43. Still ahead. Andrew will have your morning sports report. Plus, let's take another live look outside this morning. Jake will have a check at the forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Don't burn up your money on high energy bills. Get new energy-efficient windows from Champion. Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus, get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma? How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Sometimes it takes a different approach to see the difference you can make around you. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, set your own deadlines and access coursework anytime. Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
Maddie has heart failure, and it can't be cured. Our neighbor is using a Grace, so I asked Maddie's doctor about them. Turns out, they can help us. They're already managing Maddie's breathing trouble better. A Grace, authentic care and connection. Visit agrace.org to learn more.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Here's a look at the Alert Day information, which is in the forecast for today, tomorrow, and Monday. It's not just for the hot weather, but also for the possibility that we could see some severe storms, especially tonight, and then it looks like the next best chance of severe weather will occur Monday evening. So looking at the severe weather outlook, this is for today, but it also includes tonight, so the slight risk you're seeing is mostly for the overnight hours. And as we get into Sunday, it's going to drop just a little bit, but notice we still have a marginal risk for severe weather for much of our area, but then it increases back up to a slight risk for Monday. As I mentioned, Monday could be the next best chance of severe weather after tonight. So there are two possible outcomes with the storms tonight and tomorrow. The first outcome would bring the storms and keep them mostly to the north of Dane County. Could see a few rounds of it in the central portion of the state, but you folks in La Crosse and Eau Claire will still see rain from this outcome. But far southern Wisconsin may miss out on the rain if this does happen. But if it does, we could see more storms on Sunday, and some of these storms could be on the stronger side with some damaging winds and maybe some minor hail. Now that will clear out before we get to sunset, at least that's what it looks like. but then we are going to see more storms on Monday. Now, the second scenario, which would bring storms for our entire area, if this happens, we likely are going to see a little bit less of storms for Sunday. So here's a look at the forecast of the second scenario, where our entire area sees some strong storms tonight. Could see some strong winds with this line of storms as it occurs, especially between around 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. for the majority of Wisconsin. It will clear out by sunrise Sunday, but if that scenario does happen, it may zap a lot of the energy for the storms to form on Sunday. Still could see some pop-up showers and storms, but not as much as we would see if the storm stayed to the north tonight. Now, regardless of what happens tonight and tomorrow, we still are going to see a line of severe weather on Monday, where we are going to see a line of storms move into our area from the west to northwest again and impact much of our area during the evening, bringing in some heavy rain, strong winds, and maybe even some minor hail. Now, total precipitation obviously could be over an inch, if not over 2 inches, if a few locations do indeed see several rounds of thunderstorms. Now, on top of all that, we also are going to see some very warm temperatures. So looking at the heat index values, they will be in the middle to lower 90s today, but tomorrow will be the hotter of the 3 days, as we are going to see heat index values possibly get close to 100. So if you do have any outdoor plans, again, it's going to be dry for much of the day with the exception of some isolated storms. But if you do have any outdoor plans, take breaks from the heat and drink plenty of water. Now, it's going to be hot again on Monday, but the good news is that after Monday, it's going to be very quiet for the rest of the forecast with comfortable temperatures, highs in the upper 70s and very little rainfall. But we still got to get through these couple of days with severe weather and very warm temperatures. Fairly active next couple of days for sure.
Jacob, thank you. Andrew has your morning sports report now.
The Colin Companies Championship is one of 5 majors on the Senior PGA Tour, and since 2020, Steve Stricker and Jerry Kelly have owned it. Kelly won it in 2020, Stricker in 21. Kelly then won it again in 2022, and Stricker took it in 2023. You're seeing a theme here. As for 2024, both are within striking distance of keeping that Wisconsin dominance alive. We start with Kelly on 14, working out of the bunker, and are you kidding me? I don't know that you could see that go in, but it certainly did. One of his 7 birdies on the day, skyrocketing him into a tie for 5th place. And as for Stricker, stopping to take selfies with fans and starting out hot, he birdied each of his first 2 holes of the day, and then on the back 9, an eagle opportunity. What precision from Strick. He would knock that in for his 3rd and final birdie of the day. Stricker enters the weekend 6 under for the tournament and 1 shot off the lead. The Brewers are fresh off their first series loss at home since April, and still they're 23-8 at AmFam in their last 31 games. Jesse Winker making his AmFam return, and he got the scoring started for Washington. Then came the Crew, bottom 4, down 3 zip, and in comes Slick Willie. Adames hits one at dead center that the park barely contains, and it would still score one, carving into that Nationals lead. And then next batter up, Sal Frelick. He says, Willie, why don't we just trade places? He matches the double to bring the lead or the deficit within 1. But their old buddy Jesse Winker wasn't done. He leaves the yard in an absolute hurry, leaving Brewers fans thinking, where was this last year? The Crew lose it 5-2. The Brewers will have a pair of All-Stars starting in this year's All-Star game, and yesterday we found out the Madison Mallards will too in the Northwoods League All-Star game. Jake Schaffner, who leads the Northwoods League in batting average, got selected, as did first baseman Blake Guerin. The pair have led the Mallards to an incredible 32-12 record this season. Well, a day after throwing 7 no-hit innings against the Brewers, Pirates rookie sensation Paul Skeens was named the National League starting pitcher in this year's MLB All-Star game. He's one of 4 rookies in league history to earn the starting nod of the Midsummer Classic. Skeens was taken 1st overall in last year's MLB draft, and a year later, he is on the biggest stage. Well, speaking of star power, Sarah Franklin was recognized for hers at the other night's ESPY Award. She was nominated for Best College Athlete in the women's sports category. The volleyball star was the National Player of the Year last year and took Wisconsin all the way to the national title game. Although it would be Caitlin Clark who took the ESPY home, that is hard to compete with. That's it for your morning sports fix. Have a worthwhile weekend.
Thank you, Andrew. And coming up next, we celebrate National Rock Day. We'll explain it next.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Teens have drama.
One more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh, how does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
We know summer is the season we all look forward to. So, of course, you want it to be perfect. But the truth is, no one reminisces about that one time everything went exactly according to plan. So soak it in. Because summer's greatest hits are often the imperfect stories we remember perfectly. Summer's greatest hits are here.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs.
Right now, lease a new Corolla Cross for $299 a month, or lease a 2024 RAV4 for $329 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's Hy-Vee's Big Beverage Sale this Friday through Sunday. Stock up on 6-pack bottles of Coke products, just $3.99 each when you buy 3. 24-pack Pepsi products, just $9.99. Stay hydrated with Gatorade 8-packs, just $5.48. Fuel your workouts or your work week with Monster, NOS, Full Throttle, or Alani Nu energy drinks, 3 for $5. Plus, save on Red Bull, Celsius, and more. Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
These were my great-grandpappy's glasses. And now they're yours, son.
Why can't I just get my own?
No, these have at least a few hundred years left in them.
I think the kid needs his own. Get 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79, all same day.
Yeah, I want my own.
Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Mission Unstoppable, Saturday morning at 9.
Finally this morning, they're all around us, and today is the day to recognize them. Of course, we're talking about rocks. It is National Rock Day, and we're not talking about music, but what you see in your yard or on your walk. And not all rocks are the same, of course. In fact, they fall into 3 categories, including igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Rocks played a role in early human history, used as tools, weapons, and even utensils at a time. And during our time, maybe as a kid, you collected rocks either for fun or as part of a class assignment. So on this Saturday, after you stop and smell the roses, maybe take a pause to take in the uniqueness of these rocks. Jacob has one final check of the forecast now on your Saturday.
Yeah, the next 3 days we have alert days in the forecast. We're going to see some pretty warm temperatures. Actual temperatures will peak in the upper 80s to lower 90s with heat index values into the middle 90s, possibly even close to the triple digits. Now, we also have a few rounds of severe weather. Again, the first major round will be tonight, and then we could see more severe weather Sunday evening with another round Monday evening. But overnight tonight and Monday evening are the 2 best chances for that severe weather. But after Monday, it is going to be much calmer. We have partly sunny to mostly sunny skies in the forecast pretty much every day. Temperatures will also be a lot cooler. Highs will be in the upper 70s, lower 80s. So it's going to be very nice next week, but we got to get through these next couple of days. If you are a fan of the heat, I mean, enjoy the weather, but just make sure you take it easy out there.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thank you all for watching. We are back here tomorrow morning at 6:30.